We is live. You is live. I is live. How's everybody doing, man? We is live. You is live. Perfect time of podcast. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what it is. It's the same thing every day. Best political conversation on YouTube. There's a lot of people who try to do the voodoo that we do, that hoodoo that you do, that we do on this do, but they cannot do what we find do. How you today on this mega happy Taco Tuesday? You know what we do on Taco Tuesdays? Taco Tuesdays is Mega Macha Mucho. Mega Macha Mucho is what we do on Taco Tuesdays, man, because it's a lead up and a follow up to All We Do Is Win Wednesday. We have a lot of hot topics today. It's not just Taco Tuesday, it's Election Day Tuesday. Let this be a reminder. Hey, get that in the chat right now. First in the chat, get shouted out. Let this be a reminder on this day, Election Day 2025, November, what is it? What is it, a blizzard? November 4th, Election Day 2025. Let this be a reminder. Let this be a precursor. You see the climate on the ground. 2026, 2028, the Democrats got no chance. 2026, 2028. Look at what's happening across the board in America. Look at the effects of AOC and the squad. Look, I mean, what is really truly on the stage for discussion and debate today? In my thumbnail, you see over 300 elections. It's not just Zandani. It's not just Cuomo. It's not just the referendum on the Democratic Party. It's not just the 5 seats. We're going to talk about the 5 seats. Let's talk the 5 seats. What was it? What's the Prop 50? Prop 50 in California, and the 5 seats, right? The 5 seats that don't mean anything. Because why was it ever a big deal? It was a non-starter because the government is not shut down right now over 5 seats. You not getting your EBT, you not getting your food stamps, your cash aid being delayed in December. This ain't got nothing to do with the 5 seats, but today's special election. How much money is Gavin Newsom spending on the special election in California for these 5 seats? How much money did Jasmine Crockett cost Texas, Greg Abbott, and the flood victims? Do you guys remember when Jasmine Crockett left Texas? She stopped the vote for the flood victims. What's up with your BDB? Well, Big Daddy Big Gaming in the building, man. How you feeling? How you doing? Man, I'm doing good, feeling good, man. Double tap hit the like button, man. Double tap it. I'm doing good, feeling good, man. Taco Tuesday, man. We got a lot of great things to talk about, man. How you feeling? How you living, man? Living good, man. Feeling good, living good, man. Bless out to you, man. Hope you're doing the same, man. Everybody go hit the link to Big G. BDBGP, that's my brother. Go check him out. One of the best gamers on YouTube, man. Muhammad said hi. Let's get the chat going, man. Double tap, hit the like button. How much money has Gavin Newsom spent on this special election? Because I don't think we're talking about the right things today. Election Day 2025. That's going to be the focus. We're going to focus on the shutdown. We're going to focus on the fact that we don't have a resolution. We don't have EBT. We don't have food stamps. But it's also Election Day. How much money did Gavin Newsom, how much money Gavin Newsom spent on the 5 seats election? This is relevant because we're always talking about transparency, right? Proposition 50. Now remember, Jasmine Crockett got on a jet plane. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I'm Jasmine Crockett. I'm insane. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I'm Jasmine Crockett. I'm insane. So Jasmine Crockett got on a jet plane, left her job. She took other elected politicians, duly elected politicians, sworn to uphold the Constitution, sworn to represent the representatives. That's what Jasmine Crockett did. She took people away from Greg Abbott, Texas, and she made a national story, not over the big, beautiful bill, not over EBT, not over food stamps, not over tax breaks for the wealthy and rich. Can we have a real talk this morning? Double tap hit the like button. Y'all know where y'all at, right? Double tap and hit the like button. You know where you at, right? Double tap and hit the like button. Number one discussion about politics and geopolitics on YouTube. We're going to have a talk about Election Day 2025. It's relevant about these 5 seats because the Democrats have your food stamps hostage. Right now, you are going hungry. I see people running in and out of stores. And it's going to get worse because even when the government opens back up, the big, beautiful bill goes into effect with tougher restrictions. And then you got to deal with the backlog. Yes, the government has been shut down. 2 million federal employees furloughed. That means when the government opens back up, we got to get people to come back to work. And then there's a backlog because right now we can't process any new claims. No new welfare, no new Section 8, no new TANF, no new cash aid, no new Social Security. So that means when the government opens back up, there's going to be a backlog, which slows down entitlement benefits going out to you, the public. Did you know that? I don't think you knew that. Did you know that? But don't worry, Jasmine Crockett got on a jet plane. Let's stay focused, everybody. Don't worry about it because I don't think Jasmine Crockett is worried about it. I don't think Chuck Schumer is worried about it. I don't think Hakeem Jeffries is worried about it. Jasmine Crockett got on a jet plane. Jasmine Crockett didn't fly coach. Did you know Jasmine Crockett didn't fly coach? All of the Democrats who left Texas got on a private plane. We, on my channel, if you listen to this channel, the number one political debate is happening here. We discussed the cost of that flight. Yes, we did. It was hundreds of thousands of dollars for that private plane. And we said on this channel, MAGA wanted to know. Can you put in the comments? MAGA wants to know. Can we coin that term right now? MAGA wants to know. Hashtag MAGA wants to know. Quotations. MAGA wants to know. MAGA wanted to know how much did that jet plane cost, Jasmine Crockett, when you left your job, when you abandoned your job. See, I can't abandon my job. Can you abandon your job? Can you abandon your job? I can't abandon my job. Jasmine Crockett abandoned her position, abandoned her post, let down the people and the public she was supposed to represent. She duly appointed and swore to God to represent these people, swore to the Constitution. You know you have to swear on the Bible. She has a code of ethics. She took other politicians with her, got on the plane, created a national shitstorm for the Democrats, a national shitstorm. She went to Illinois. She went to New York. She went to California. The governor of New York hosted her. The governor of Illinois, Pretzer, hosted her. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, who is right now running a special election today. Special election, Gavin Newsom in California. Do you understand how the Democrats are moving? The Democrats have shut down the government over a clean resolution. We talked about a clean resolution. If you don't know what that is, you need to know what that is by now. The Democrats shut down the government over a clean resolution, and you don't have food stamps. And they're talking about entitlements, but then Gavin Newsom and Jasmine Crockett are wasting millions upon millions of dollars over 5 seats that don't even matter in the congressional math. And this is the part that's so bad about the Democrats and so evil and sinister. They haven't explained to you honestly about what it means that they are voting against a clean CR. And they haven't explained to you the congressional math. Congressional math, you say, huh? Congressional math? Congressional math. What is congressional math? I said MAGA wants to know. I said MAGA wants to know. I said MAGA wants congressional math. Congressional math is saying this. The 5 seats don't matter. The 5 seats are not essential. The 5 seats does not give the Democrats a majority. So why are they spending money, wasting time, and stopping democracy and politics? Currently, the Republicans control the House. Currently, the Republicans control the Senate. Currently, the Republicans control the White House. So what does 5 House seats matter in the long run? They absolutely don't matter. How much money is Gavin Newsom spending on this special election right now? And all efforts of full transparency, because we're talking about election day, today, Tuesday, election day, November 2025. This is a precursor for 2026 and what's to come, 2026 and 2028. How much money is Gavin Newsom spending on Proposition 50 in California after Jasmine Crockett lost? Now, let's do the real congressional math. Let's do the real congress, 300 million or more. Mr. Perfect Timing said $300 million or more. Now, let's tell the whole complete story. Jasmine Crockett left her job, stopped democracy, caused a national shitstorm by going to several Democratic states. But what was the result? The result was Texas and Greg Abbott still got the 5 seats. Can we have a talk this morning? Texas and Greg Abbott still got the 5 seats. So if the Democrats lost, the Democrats are on the losing train. That's what the Democrats do. Lose, lose, lose. So the Democrats lose, right? Greg Abbott gets the 5 seats. Nobody has a real discussion about why we need the 5 seats, why the redistricting, and the actual demographic shift that's occurring in America. They want to attribute it to racism. I said the Democrats want you to look at everything through a colored lens. They don't want you to be pragmatic and logical and understand the actual background that the demographics are shifting. That should have been obvious by the bully mandate that the Republicans received back in January when the country overwhelmingly handed over the leadership reins to the Republicans. What do I mean? They voted back in Donald Trump, and they gave the Republicans a mandate by allowing the Republicans to be in control of the House and the Senate, which is how the big, beautiful bill passed so fast. Are you guys paying attention to what is going on in geopolitics in America right now? Greg Abbott got the 5 seats. Jasmine Crockett left Texas for nothing. See, this is the complete story. This is the complete story. Greg Abbott in Texas, changing demographics, got the 5 seats because demographics have changed and shifted in America. Now, let's fast forward to today, Election Day. How did the Democrats want to combat that? Well, we know Gavin Newsom is running for president. It's going to be a 4-year campaign, which is absolutely sad. It's absolutely sad that you need 4 years, Gavin, to campaign for president. Why do you need 4 years? You can't let Trump be president. It's actually un-American and it's undemocratic. Most times people start in the midterms, 2026, 2 years, that's when they start running for president. Gavin Newsom is despicable, and he's running for president already. It's a 4-year campaign. So Gavin Newsom is saying he's going to help the Democratic Party by doing a special election in California. Today is election day for those 5 seats that Jasmine Crockett lost. What's important is, why did Jasmine Crockett leave Texas? Why did Jasmine Crockett hold up a vote to get flood victims funding if you still lost the 5 seats? Think about this. She cost money. She cost time. She put democracy in limbo, and she still lost the 5 seats. And because Jasmine Crockett did that, now California and California taxpayers have to suffer. I don't want to pay for a special election. I don't live in Texas. I don't disagree with Greg Abbott. Why am I forced to pay for Jasmine Crockett's mistake? Can we have a real honest talk this morning? Back at it like a crack addict, automatic like a Fomatic, built from tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last, so we're going to get this done in the blast real fast. You are watching the Perfect Timing Podcast, top of the mid-morning podcast from an OG perspective. I need everybody watching right now to double tap the screen. If you're watching on a cell phone, the majority of you watching me on the cell phone, I need you to boop, 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 double tap the screen just like this. Hit the like button. It is very important. I know you enjoying the conversation. I know you enjoy the information and the way I present the facts. This is important that you double tap, hit the like button early in the podcast so that we get into the algorithm, so that we can expand the conversation, that people are educated. How many people even know today is voting day? How many people have their stickers that today is the day that you vote? Don't run away. Don't run away. Double tap, hit the like button, become a good American, become politically advantageous, become a part of the solution. I like that. Become a part of the solution. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. Perfect Time Podcast, top of the mid-morning podcast. Today's topics is about the shutdown. What day are we in the shutdown? How many days are we in the shutdown, you guys? And how many days are we going to be shut down? Let me know right now. We are also talking about voting day, election day. Double tap, hit the like button. Let everybody know what we're talking about. Let everybody know what we're talking about, and let everybody know where you at. The best podcast in the land. The best podcast in the land. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you for everybody for coming through. We having a good day. We having a good day. We're going to have a good podcast. We got a lot of information, a lot of informative information. Shout out to Kenny. We got a lot of informative information in here. All right. New Jersey, New York, California. It's 300 elections today. It's 300 elections today. We're going to chop it up. We're going to have a good time today. We're going to have a good conversation today. It's 300 elections today. We're going to chop it up. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome to join the chat. Say whatever you want to say. All I ask is that you be respectful, mind the community guidelines. I'll ask that you be respectful and mind the community guidelines, and double tap and hit the like button. If you're going to be here having a good time, go ahead, double tap, hit the like button, man. I really appreciate it, man. I really do, man. What we were just talking about is we were talking about these 5 seats and how much Gavin Newsom spend. Proposition 50. So Texas lost their 5 seats. And then, so the way the Democratic Party, the DNC, I don't know if there is a real true Democratic Party. They didn't even go to convention. You saw what happened with Kamala Harris. Proposition 50, the Election Rigging Response Act in California was a special statewide election on November 4th, 2025, aimed at redrawing California's congressional districts to potentially flip up to 5 Republican-held seats to Democrats, countering similar efforts in states like Texas. The measure passed with 61% approval, but the campaign was one of the most expensive in California history, driven largely by national stakes for House control in 2026. But that is actually not true, because even if you get the 5 seats in California, you're back where you started, okay? Texas got 5 seats. You get the 5 seats back. What is the basic congressional math that I've been teaching my listeners is that the Congress is still being held by Republicans, Senate still being held by Republicans, and President Trump is still in the White House, which means the Republicans still have a mandate regardless of what goes on with these 5 seats. Total spending overview. Yes, on Prop 50 pro redistricting, raised and spent approximately $168 million through the main committee, Newsom ballot measure committee, and allied groups. This included heavy ad buys, $3.8 million a week. This could have paid for food stamps in California. And still, the Republicans are still in charge of the House. I'm going to keep saying this every time. Today is election day, and Tuesday, you need to understand the congressional math. Gavin Newsom and California Democrats have spent in this special campaign $3.8 million a week. I want to know from Jasmine Crockett, is that justified? Is that the kind of Democratic Party? Is that the kind of political leadership you want in America, where they waste $3.8 million a week while you go hungry? See, everybody want to talk about Trump, and Trump blame the Republicans. This is what the Democratic Party is doing. This is a national campaign. They talked about these 5 seats nationwide. Now, California, and this is costing me. I live in California. California taxpayers have to pay for Jasmine Crockett's mistake. $3.8 million a week in late October alone. In late October alone, mailers, digital outreach, and massive field operation targeting 2 million voters via unions like California Labor Federation. Independent expenditures added another $26 million from nonprofits. How much are we at now? We at $200 million. Parties and billionaires, because we got a lot of Democratic elite billionaires. Listen to this. Parties and billionaires from California Community Foundation. No on Prop 50. So it was 200 million versus a few million. Grand total $251 million. As we discuss a government shutdown, as we discuss who is to blame for the shutdown, as we discuss how much money is needed in special funding to get you your food stamps, because you still don't got food stamps. Can we have an honest, real talk this morning? Americans still don't have food stamps. Let's go deeper than Americans not having food stamps. Let's go to 2 million furloughed federal employees who do not have paychecks. Let's go to essential workers like the air traffic controller. Air traffic controllers have been working over a month without pay. Air traffic controllers have been working over a month without pay. Key funding sources and breakdown. The yes side rely on Democratic super PACs. I keep talking to you about these Democratic millionaire elites, but what you need to understand is where their priorities lie. I'm going to tell you where their priorities lie. It's not with you. It's not with your EBT. It's not with your food stamps. The yes side rely on Democratic super PACs, labor unions, and progressive billionaires. I'm going to say it again, on progressive billionaires. Are billionaires funding EBT? Are billionaires giving money to food banks? I don't see no billionaires giving out turkeys, giving out boxes of food. Billionaires could be giving out boxes of food. November 1st, people went hungry. Where are the billionaires giving out food? Nino Brown gave out turkeys. Drug dealers give out food. Where are the billionaires at? We got 3,000 billionaires, more billionaires ever in American history. Where are the billionaires at that now Americans are hungry? No, they want to point the truck. Let's just be honest, but they spent $300 million to get 5 seats in California. Don't forget, the billionaires will spend their money. They won't spend it on you. Listen to this. Labor unions and progressive billionaires. Progressive billionaires. Come on. That's who spent the money in California on those 5 seats. Super PACs. $16 million. Billionaires and individuals. Tom Steerer, independent, adds $12 million. Billionaires and Tom Steerer. Charles Munger Jr., redistricting reform advocate, right? This is yes on Prop 50. Tom Steerer spent $12 million. Billionaire could just throw $12 million. Oh, George Soros. Did you know, haven't we been talking about George Soros? George Soros doesn't even live in California. Why is George Soros donating to yes on Prop 50? Can we have a real, I said this is the #1 conversation for political debate and political discourse. Geopolitical is right here, right now. If you're not here, if you're not in my chat, if you're not a member, you're not part of the conversation. Double tap, hit the like button, join the channel, become a part of the conversation, the only intelligent, intellectual conversation that's being had. $10 million by George Soros. I'm going to read it again. George Soros Fund for Policy Reform. $10 million, yes, on Prop 50. Now, again, what is Prop 50 in California? 5 seats from Jasmine Crockett. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Jasmine Crockett, 5 seats. That she lost. Do you understand what truly happened? Jasmine Crockett got on a plane, created a national shit show, and she lost the 5 seats. Yeah, Texas got the 5 seats. So now California has to spend $300 million because of Jasmine. Today is election day. Today is election day, and day 35. Is it day 35? Today is day 35. Is today tied for the longest shutdown in American history? Is today day 35 of the shutdown? Does anybody know anything about this debate, or does people want to troll? I know everything about the debate. Does anybody know anything about this debate? What day is it in the shutdown? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what was the longest shutdown? I know what the longest shutdown was. It was 35 days under the last Trump administration. Today is November 4th, election day. How many days are we shut down? How many days are we shut down? You still don't have food stamps, and your cash aid is going to be delayed, and your food stamps may not be arriving in December, but don't worry about it. Billionaire Democrats, can we have an honest talk this morning about the reality of the Democratic Party? Billionaire Democrats have spent $300 million in California on 5 insequential seats because the Republicans still run the House. The Republicans still run the Senate. Do you understand? It's a push. You know, when we were little kids and we would make bets on the streets, if I take 5 and you get 5, it's a push. You understand? That means we still remain at Republican control. What was the money spent on? I'm going to tell you right now, the money wasn't spent on you. The money wasn't spent on entitlements. The money wasn't spent on food stamps. So what did the Democrats gain from Jasmine Crockett's political theater for leaving Texas, and now Gavin Newsom and political billionaires, Democratic billionaires, What did you gain? What did you gain? I've been talking about political theater. If you understand the congressional math, nothing was gained by the Democrats. The only thing that was lost is by you, the Democratic taxpayers, people who live in California, people who live in Texas. The citizens lost. Jasmine Crockett's stunt cost you. Gavin Newsom is costing you. But what did you gain, Democrat? You didn't gain anything. Do you understand what they're doing? I am explaining this to you because they're doing the same thing with EBT, food stamps, and entitlements. The same game, you don't see anything. The same game Jasmine Crockett and Gavin Newsom are playing with these 5 seats is the same game Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Senate Democrats are playing with your entitlements. You don't see anything. The Republicans still have the majority in the House and the Senate, and President Trump is going to be president for the next 4 years. Chuck Schumer cannot keep the government shut down for 4 years. Do you guys understand the congressional math? Just the math and what the Democrats have done to you. Trump has only been in office 6 months. Chuck Schumer cannot keep the government shut down for 4 years. Donald Trump has 3.5 more years in office. Think about what I am teaching you about the congressional math. The government cannot stay shut down, but you can be hurt. Your Christmas, your Thanksgiving can be drastically taken away. This is after a pandemic and a quarantine where a lot of children and families couldn't see grandparents, could not have holidays. So now we're post-quarantine, we're post-pandemic. Do you guys understand that the last time the government was shut down for 35 days, there was a 15-day delay in entitlements going back out? Why was there a delay? Because we had to start the government back up and get the funding. This is the problem that you guys need to understand. Why do I bring up the pandemic? Why do I bring up quarantine? Because we are a nation who has been affected greatly financially by the moratorium on rent. Not paying rent for 2 years, not paying PG&E for 2 years, not paying water bills. Our water plants suffer, our energy grid suffered, our highways suffered. We are in recovery. Remember the Recovery Act? Is anybody paying attention? Is anybody listening? Do you really care about Americans? Do you really care about your country? Do you really care about politics? I'm not trying to scare anyone. I need to educate you that after the last shutdown of 35 days, shout out to Relax and Talk Sports. After the last shutdown of 35 days, there was a slow crawl back to equilibrium. I am telling you from my research, it will be slower because we have less money in reserves right now. Right now, everybody is wondering about this judge decision. There was a judge decision that said Trump needed to release the $5 billion in reserves to pay food stamps. There's a big problem in the math. Today, we're going to talk a lot about math, right? The need to pay for November is $9 billion. That leaves us with the $4 billion shortfall. That means even if the contingency is pulled, everyone doesn't get food. Only 60% will get paid, 60%. Do you guys understand? And after that contingency is pulled and the government is not open and the Democrats does not come to an agreement, what happens in December? Because that $5 billion is gone. What do you get in December? Also, if the government stays shut down past today, then you are looking at a drastic effect on your cash aid for December. What else did I tell you about December? I told you that Section 8 in child care may be affected in December because of the block grants and the way Section 8 is paid. November, Section 8 is okay, but people may get evicted in December because there may be a delay in Section 8 payments. There will definitely be a delay in cash aid. I'm sorry to tell you that some states have already paused TANF, which is cash aid. Do not only focus on the food stamps. This is greater than they are making it out to be. I wanted to talk to you first about Gavin Newsom and billionaire Democrats. Listen to this. George Soros, $10 million for yes on Prop 50. Tom Steyer, $12.8 million yes on Prop 50. Billionaire individual Thomas Siebel. Does anybody know about the Siebel building in Emeryville? I used to work in the Siebel building in Emeryville. Gorgeous, on the water, Bay Street, Emeryville, Oakland, 415 Bay Area. Listen to this. Thomas Siebel, Newsom's relative. I did not know that. I did not know that Thomas Siebel of the Siebel building in Emeryville, you know that was the last Denny's. Did you guys know for the Democratic ran cities, for the sanctuary cities, there are no more Denny's? I used to love going to that Denny's. There are no more Denny's in Oakland, in San Francisco. Because of the Democratic sanctuary policies, there are no more Denny's restaurant. Right there in Emeryville, where I used to work at the Siebel building, I used to go to that Denny's. It was a great Denny's on the water. Right by you get on the Bay Bridge, beautiful Bay Area. That Denny's was the last Denny's. I understand why it was the last Denny's, because it was a great location, beautiful picturesque Bay Area views, gorgeous. You can see the bridge, you can see the water. You can go for a walk after you eat your breakfast by the beautiful water and look at the beautiful Bay Bridge. Gorgeous. That Denny's is closed. You can't keep it open because of the homeless Democratic sanctuary policies next to the Siebel building. The Siebel building owned by Thomas Siebel, who is a relative to Gavin Newsom, and he's a tech executive, which is why I probably worked there, but I did not know that he was related to Gavin Newsom. He donated $1 million to Yes on 50. Can we have a real talk this morning about priorities, and why you don't have your food stamps? Why don't you have your food stamps? Why don't you have your entitlements? Why haven't soldiers been paid? Why are federal employees furloughed? Why have air traffic controllers had to work 30 days without pay? Can you go to work? How do you buy gas? If you are an essential employee and you've been having to work 30 days, I want to say thank you for your service. And how do you go to work? How do you eat lunch? How do you get coffee? How do you buy gas if you haven't been paid in 30 days and you still have to go to work? These are everybody talking about food stamps, but you may have to take a business trip and you need air traffic controllers. Well, I'm here to educate you that air traffic controller hasn't got paid in over a month. How did he get to work? Is he getting adequate rest? Can he do his best job? Can the air traffic controller do their best job? They haven't got paid in 30 days. They still got to show up to work. This is not just about food stamps. Do you guys understand? The shutdown is not just about food stamps. The shutdown is not just about food stamps. Federal employees, 2 million are furloughed. Soldiers' wives, soldiers' children who fight for us, soldiers who volunteer for us, military wives, the children of the military. It's not just about EBT. Can I keep going? Thomas Siebel. So far, we got George Soros with 10 million, Thomas Streeter with 12 million, Thomas Siebel with more millions, labor unions, California Teachers Association. So now your teachers gave $3.3 million. I thought the teachers were broke. I thought the teachers need to be paid more money. You need to pay attention to what I'm teaching you today. Double tap, hit the like button. It says here the California teachers. Now, this is not even nationwide. How many states? We have 50 states. Does every state have a teachers union or a PAC, a political lobby? How many people knew that the poor, broke teachers have a political PAC, a lobby? Do you know what a PAC is? That means they have a lobby. Do you know what politics is in America? Do you know how politics work in America? Because you think teachers need a raise. You think teachers are not politically savvy, right? You think teachers are not being taken care. No. Teachers have a PAC. You don't. You don't have political representation. You don't. The Democrats don't represent you. They represent billionaire elites. Because look who gave the money. Look who gave the money to Gavin Newsom. Thomas Streeter, billionaire. George Soros, billionaire. Thomas Siebel, billionaire. And now we're talking about the labor unions, teachers. Did you know? I'm just asking a question about your Democratic Party and your political leadership and affiliation. Did you know that the teachers who you want to pay more money have a political action PAC? This is a lobby. Do you know what oh my God, $3.3 million from the poor teachers. $3.3 million from the poor teachers on yes on 50, on 5 seats that don't matter. Do you understand that? I didn't think the teachers had $3 million to throw away because these 5 seats don't matter, because the Republicans from the congressional map stay in power. Even if California wins the 5 seats, the Republicans keep the House, keep the Senate, and keep the White House. So why are we wasting all this money? California teachers, why don't you go buy some pencils? $3 billion. We're really 3.3, almost $4 billion from the California teachers for yes on 50. California Nurses Association, $3.3 million for yes on 50, basically against Trump. California teachers are against Trump, and California nurses are against Trump. $3.3 million to that effect. California Democratic Party, the whole California DNC, $1 million. Do you understand what's going on in your Democratic Party as they try to tell you that the Democrats are keeping you broke, the Republicans are keeping you hungry, and it's the Republicans keeping your food stamps? I am explaining to you, today is election day. Today is election day, and Jasmine Crockett cost us 5 seats, and Jasmine Crockett is costing you $300 million in California. And I am explaining to you that it came from billionaire Democrats. Now, I told you why the billionaire Democrats did not vote against the big, beautiful bill. Now, do you understand what's happening in America? Billionaire Democrats wanted the big, beautiful bill as much as the Republicans. Now, Chuck Schumer is trying to shoehorn into a clean CR changes to a law that's already passed. But they did not fight the big, beautiful bill because they have billionaire support from people like Tom Steyer, George Soros, who will get a tax break from the big, beautiful bill. The same billionaires who are funding the special election in California is the reason why Democrats did not fight the big, beautiful bill, but they are lying to you. Chuck Schumer is trying to trick you. Chuck Schumer is trying to trick you by telling you about Affordable Care Act subsidies that would expire and the things that are already law in the big, beautiful bill. And Chuck Schumer is trying to lie to you and say that we can change the law, the big, beautiful bill that is already law, by shoehorning things into a clean CR. That is impossible. That would never happen. This is why it's a non-story. This is what makes it so evil and sinister by the Democrats, because you did not want to fight the big, beautiful bill because you have billionaire donors. I just called them out. This is a fact. You did not fight the tax break that billionaires would receive because you are billionaires. Can we have a real talk this morning? The Democrats, but now they want to lie to the Democrat constituents and say, oh no, we shut down the government and we want to fight the changes that are going to come in the big, beautiful bill that is already law via the shutdown. Why did when the big, beautiful bill is being debated? You can't change something that's already law. See, this is the problem with the Democratic logic. This is what Chuck Schumer will not lie, will not tell you. This is what's really going on, right? The big, beautiful bill is law. Billionaires like George Soros, Thomas Siebel, and Thomas Steyer will benefit greatly from the big, beautiful bill. Do you guys understand how many Democrat elites? The Democrat elites come out when they need something done. When Gavin Newsom wants to have a special election that's going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars, what does Gavin Newsom do? Well, Gavin Newsom goes to his billionaire Democrat elite friends. Right? Do you guys understand Nancy Pelosi is worth $400 million? Gavin Newsom is worth millions of dollars. Chuck Schumer is a millionaire. Adam Schiff is a millionaire. We can go down the line. AOC at the Met Gala. Jasmine Crockett, gorgeous, beautiful hair every day. Brand new hair, brand new nails, brand new makeup. Jasmine Crockett. Isn't she a beautiful elitist? Jasmine Crockett, elitist. AOC, elitist. Bernie Sanders, Bernie bros. But Bernie is also a Democratic millionaire elite. This is the truth of your party. Democratic millionaire elites through and through. Why do you believe Chuck Schumer? Why do you believe Chuck Schumer? Why do you believe them when they are benefiting greatly? Do you remember the debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton? And Hillary Clinton tried to assassinate Donald Trump's character on paying no taxes. And what did Donald Trump rebuttal? Donald Trump said, no, I did not pay taxes, and neither did you pay taxes, and you could change the law, but you won't. Donald Trump said to Democrat Hillary Clinton, no, I didn't pay taxes, and you didn't pay taxes, and you could change the law. You have power, but you won't, because you benefit from the same tax breaks that I benefit from. Do you guys remember that? It was a coffin in the nail of the Hillary Clinton campaign. I remember it. MAGA remembers it. MAGA remembers it like it was Monday. Yes, I remember it like it was yesterday. Hillary Clinton, you didn't pay your taxes. You didn't pay your taxes. And he said, I didn't. And you didn't pay your taxes either. I am explaining to you the logic behind the big, beautiful bill. Do you understand the tax breaks are not specific to Republicans? Everybody wants to talk about the tax breaks in the big, beautiful bill. Well, guess what? The billionaire Democrats who I just listed, who is helping Gavin Newsom, will also receive those tax breaks from the big, beautiful bill. All those benefits, they're not only for Republican billionaires. Did you guys know that? They're not only for Republican billionaires. And Chuck Schumer wants you to believe. See, this is the thing. Chuck Schumer and the elite billionaire Democrats don't want the big, beautiful bill not to be law. The big, beautiful bill, I don't think truly Americans understand when I say the big, beautiful bill is a law. You know, like 55 miles per hour, like stopping at a red light. Huh? Like stopping at a red light, like 55 on the highway. The big, beautiful bill and the changes to WIC, the changes to entitlements like TANF and EBT food stamps and Section 8 are now law. They are law. Even when the government opens back up, the big, beautiful bill has new, stricter restrictions on welfare. Did you guys know that? So the Democrats basically stole your last welfare check. The Democrats basically stole your last welfare check because the big, beautiful bill is law. The law, like 55 miles per hour. When the government opens back up, there will be harder restrictions to receive WIC. Now, mothers on WIC, somebody explain what WIC is in the chat. Only women and children can get milk. It's a federal program. It's already on hold. WIC is already on hold. WIC and Head Start is already on hold. But when the government opens back up, now mothers who are on WIC have more stringent requirements, and some of them won't qualify. So Chuck Schumer took away your last WIC. Chuck Schumer took away your last WIC. Now listen to this. What has everybody talked about on TikTok? That now you have to work to get food stamps. Now you have to work to get cash aid. So when the government opens back up, the big, beautiful bill, which is a law, like 55 miles per hour, will cut some people off welfare. Some of you could have got a welfare check in November, in December, but Chuck Schumer took it away because you were going to get kicked off of welfare anyway, per the big, beautiful bill. They want you to focus on subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. Why don't they tell you about what's in the law that passed that they did not fight? In the law, the big, beautiful bill, a lot of you are already getting kicked off of welfare. Did you guys even know that? Why isn't Chuck Schumer telling you this? Why isn't he explaining to you congressional math? In the law, WIC was going to lose cash aid. People will get kicked off. This is in the big, beautiful bill. If you don't follow the new restrictions, if you don't meet the new requirements, you get kicked off. This was going to happen even without the shutdown. This was going to happen without the shutdown because the Democrats did not fight the big, beautiful bill because their billionaire donors will get a tax break. These are your realities. Can we have an honest talk this morning? California voters weighed Proposition 50 to offset GOP gerrymandering in red states. California voters are deciding on Proposition 50, which would enable state lawmakers to redraw congressional districts through 2030 in response to Republican gerrymandering in states like Texas, North Carolina, backed by Governor Newsom and Democrats amid President Donald Trump's push for favorable maps before the 2026 midterm. Republicans opposed the measure as a power grab that circumvents the independent redistricting commission established in 2010. Early turnout has surpassed 3.3 million ballots in this closely contested race, with Jennifer Seabill, Newsom's viral critique of Trump amplifying Democratic support. Jennifer Seabill. I did not know about the Seabills. Did you know about the Seabills? California special election. California special. We should call it the California billionaire election.
I will not raise my children to think Donald Trump is an acceptable American leader. Nor that he is what the leader of our great country should behave like. I won't raise them to think his terror enables his power and that his greed equals success. He is the exact opposite of what real strength looks like. So in our house, Gavin and I will continue to teach our kids what strength really looks like. If you see someone sitting alone at a table, you invite them to your table. If you see someone being bullied, you speak up and ask an adult for help. And you always, always tell the truth. Maybe if Donald Trump's parents had taught him.
What are we watching? Is this Sesame Street? Is it? Do you hear this shit? Do you hear this shit? She thinks she's talking to 6 years old. There's somebody at your table. Let them sit at your table. Bitch, this ain't Sesame Street, a romper room. I see Gavin. I see Donald. What is she talking about? This is your leader. This is your queen. Oh my God. Kamala. We got some Kamala Harris. Oh my God. What a day. The podcast God's given. The podcast gods are blessing us today, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, the podcast. Your voice is going up. You lose it. Okay, well, listen to this. If that's what the criteria is. If that's what the criteria.
Are we gonna do this? We gonna win? Do we know how to fight?
No. That was a great lob. You lobbed. That was perfect. You're raising your voice, and then what you do? Are we gonna win? Are we gonna? No, you didn't win, Kamala. You didn't win. You ain't never won. You never got one vote. Kamala, you didn't win. You didn't get one vote. Oh my God, you didn't fight. Oh goodness.
Are we gonna do this? We gonna win? Do we know how to fight? Do we stand for our democracy? Do we stand for what is right? Do we believe in the power of the people? All right then.
Woo! I told you, a 4-year campaign. Kamala and Gavin are gonna campaign for 4 years. And it's sad because they're gonna lose. And even when they lose in 2028, people will make up all these lies. They will make up all these lies and excuses of why they lost. I will remind you that you guys campaigned for president for 4 years. Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris are going to campaign for 4 years. And when they lose, they will still make up a lie about how and why they lost instead of the reality that they're just laughable. If you just look at this, you will understand why they are going to lose and why they lose. It's not our fault, MAGA.
We gonna do this. We gonna win. Do we know how to fight?
Is she black today? I don't know if she's black. We gonna win. You can't make it up. We gonna win.
Are we gonna do this? We gonna win. Do we know how to fight? Do we stand for our democracy? Do we stand for what is right? Do we believe in the power of the people? All right then.
All right.
It is about reminding folks that we refuse to kneel at the foot of a tyrant. That's not what we do.
What is the kneel at the foot of a tyrant over 5 non-sequential seats? These seats do not matter. I am teaching the American people the congressional math. You cannot do that fake, angry, fake scowl tyrant. It doesn't matter. The Republicans still will have the House, still will have the Senate. Trump will still be the president. There is a bully mandate. We are in the driver's seat. Ladies and gentlemen, they are lying to you. The congressional math says if we gain 5 seats in Texas and lose 5 seats in California, we are back where we're starting with the House being ran by the Republicans. This is criminal. Criminal. I promise you, it's criminal.
We stand for the principles upon which our nation was founded. We believe in the Constitution of the United States. We believe in the power of the vote. And we are prepared, when necessary, to fight fire with fire. California is taking a stand to say we understand the difference between right and wrong, and we will step up when necessary to make sure the voices of the people are heard. Let's get this done. I dropped my ballot already. Let's get this done, and we will win on Tuesday.
Tuesday today is election day. Today is election day. We got Zonmani, what's his name in New York? You know what I'm saying? We got Zonmani in New York. We got New Jersey. 300 elections today. I want to see everybody with I voted sticker. You know, I pushed the vote. You know, a lot of people who talk about politics tell people don't vote. No, I want everybody to vote. I believe in voting. That's why we're doing this election day special. Get out there and vote. Be politically advantageous. I pray and hope you're here so that you become more knowledgeable about the issues and abreast about what's going on, so you are more intelligent when you hit that ballot box. That's what it's all about, baby. I mean, we had all this immigration, 10 million people. Do you guys know the details of the immigration and how many people y'all know the details of the immigration and how many people who came here actually registered to vote? You know about Gavin Newsom giving out CDLs, right? Gavin Newsom gave out CDLs to people who came here. Those people have committed murders, multiple murders. We have 2 separate incidences of 2 separate individuals who came here in 2022 under Let's Go Brandon, and Gavin Newsom gave them CDLs. They could not speak or read English. I'm not lying to you. There is a checkbox where you don't have to admit that you do not know how to speak English. You don't have to tell them that you're not a citizen. Listen to what I'm saying. Gavin Newsom created a window that these people can get a CDL, the people who kill people on the freeway. Yeah, you don't have to say you can't speak or read English. That's how they killed people on the freeway. They didn't know how to speak or read English because they're not citizens. Sanctuary Gavin. Sanctuary Gavin. Sanctuary Gavin cost you taxpayers money, cost you citizens your lives. Cost you citizens your life. Let's read the update about New York. New York is doing the same thing. Thank you, Joseph. Let's read the updates about New York. NYC mayoral race. NYC mayoral race. Zohan Moldani leads Andrew Cuomo in polls amid rally backlash. New York City voters head to the polls. The polls today in tight mayoral race between Democratic Socialist Zoran Moldani leading with 43% support against former Governor Andrew Cuomo's 33%, and Mondani's platform of city-run grocery stores, rent freezers, and universal child care to tackle affordability. Mondani's pro-Palestine activism, including rallies protesting Israel policies before and after October 7 Hamas attack, has resurfaced on social media, drawing criticism for divisiveness, while supporters praise his human rights stance and endorsements from Jewish groups. Online discourse highlights tension over his rally rhetoric, such as supporters call to seize grocery stores and Mondani's question about being called a terrorist, reflecting broader debates on identity, economy, and foreign policy. New York mayoral race. That's what's going down today. We're not going to listen. We got a lot of people talking about that stuff. Pretty heated language. They got a lot of his old speeches. I'm not going to play his old speeches. I think this is a recent speech.
If you can raise your hand if you have been called a terrorist while living in this city. Yes. If you can raise your hand.
So that's some recent. I don't know. I don't like the way Democrats inspire the vote. Him invoking, this is these racial lenses again, like looking everything to the lenses of you call me black or you call me a terrorist, and everything is racism. I think that's why the Democrats lose and continue to lose. I think this is a losing strategy. I think it's a losing strategy arguing this type of sentiment in city, a great American city like New York. A lot of people like he's going to win. Even if he wins, I think it's a lose for the Democratic Party nationally. I think if Zoran Mondani wins, I think it's a lose for the Democratic Party nationally. And just look at Chuck Schumer, who is terrified of AOC and the squad and being primary from the. I believe what you see in New York is the reason why AOC is from New York, right? And in what you see in Portland, this fraction of the Democratic Party is why the government is shut down. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries want to appease the people who would vote for Mondani, right? So that's what's happening, that your liberal Democratic Party has been taken over by these individuals who may not truly harbor true American principles, right? This is a new era, and they want to usher in a new era of America, right? And a new era of American principle. I am MAGA. I am MAGA strong, right? So I not agree with the principles that this guy espouses, but it's up to you to make up your own mind. I am pro MAGA. I am pro Trump. I am America first, right? I am make America great again, and that's what I'm all about when it comes to topics like this. But I want the citizens of New York and Texas and California to understand that these are broad and wide-reaching issues, and they are not just unique to your location, and they affect the entire country, you know. Tearful Navy vet. I never thought this country would see the day, 20 years in the Navy fighting for our freedom, for somebody like Trump to come in and take it away. So people out here crying. I don't know what he crying. What you talking about Trump taking?
For somebody like Trump to come and take it away. I'm not a good speaker.
What freedom did Trump take away? He up here crying. What freedom did Trump take away? That's going to make you start crying.
See it taken away like this. Hopefully it won't be, but there's a chance. I just can't get over it. I'm not the only one to spend days, months, minutes fighting for what we believe in, to keep this country free and clear. To have somebody like Trump to come in and do what he's doing, and the support he's getting, I just can't get over it.
What is he doing? This is the thing. This is what the people. This is what the Democrats do in my chat. Exactly what is Trump doing that's making you cry? They never articulate it. They come in my chat and you're black. Why do you like Trump? You're black and Trump is this, and they always come in here crying and whining. What is Trump doing to you? Old white rich man. What is Trump? He couldn't articulate it. I worked hard. I went in the army and I fought for the country, and now Trump is taken away. What is Trump doing? You seem to be outside. You are outside. You warm with a big old coat on, and you are on social media able to speak freely. Do you know you live in the greatest country in the world? Some countries you can't go. You know, China, they censor TikTok, right? Bite dance, remember all that shit? You can't do what you want to do on TikTok in China. You can't do what you want to do around the world on social media. But in America, where he crying, talking about his freedom. He crying as he uses his freedom. As he uses and exercises his freedom of speech, he crying about Trump taking away. Motherfucker, you on social media exercising your freedom and crying about this shit and trying to blame somebody as you exercise your freedoms. That shit is hilarious. That shit is hilarious. And let's read this from Trump Truth Social. It says here, SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions of dollars manyfold during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office due to the fact that they were haphazardly handed out to anyone for asking as opposed to just those in need, which is the purpose of SNAP, will be given only when radical left Democrats open up the government, which they can easily do and not before. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That means Trump is not going to release that $5 billion in funds. I'm going to read that again, or I'll let you read it, but I'll sum it up. Basically, it says here, this came out 4 hours ago, that he is not going to release the $5 billion. That $5 billion would not cover everybody's food stamps. It would only cover 60% because there's $9 billion needed, but that would not cover December. If you guys understand what I'm talking about, there was a judge, right? There was a judge who ruled that Trump had to put up, there was a judge in Maine and I think Rhode Island that federal judge said that Trump had to release $5 billion in contingency funds to pay the food stamp burden for November. The food stamp burden for November is $9 billion. So it leaves a $4 billion windfall. The problem is once this is used, then there's no more money. December, there is no more money. And I'm talking about not just food stamps. I'm talking about all entitlements are in trouble in December. Do you guys understand that? All entitlements are in trouble for December. Let's get some more information on this. Trump pushes Republicans to end Senate filibuster during record shutdown. Listen to this. President Trump urges Senate Republicans to eliminate the filibuster, warning it would lead to Democratic victories in 2026 midterms and 2028 election amid a 35-day government shutdown over spending and border security. The shutdown tying the longest shutdown in U.S. history. I said that today is 35 days. The longest shutdown in U.S. history is 35 days. If it goes until tomorrow, that will make this the longest shutdown in American history. Right now, we're tied at 35 days. The 35-day government shutdown over spending and border security disputes. The shutdown, tying the longest U.S. history, has furloughed federal workers and cost over $10 billion. Thank you, Chuck Schumer. Thank you, Chuck Schumer. With Trump allies like J.D. Vance supporting the move to advance deportations and voter laws. However, Senators Markwayne Mullin and Mike Lee opposed it, arguing it protects against Democrat policies while Democrats highlighted GOP division. J.D. Vance highlighted this message from Trump. This is from Donald Trump. The Democrats are far more likely to win the midterms and the next presidential election if we don't do the termination of the filibuster, the nuclear option, because it will be impossible for Republicans to get common sense policies done with these crazed Democrat lunatics being able to block everything by holding their votes for 3 years. Nothing will be passed and Republicans will be blamed. This happened with Obama. The Republicans blocked Obama, and Obama thought that people would care. No, the Republicans blocked Obama nominations. He didn't get no nominees, and he didn't get any prizes for that. Elections, including the midterms, will be rightfully brutal. If we do terminate the filibuster, we will get everything approved like no Congress in history. We will have fair, free, and safe elections, no men and women's sports or transgender for everybody. Strong borders, major tax and energy cuts. It will secure Second Amendment with the Democrats will also terminate immediately. If we don't do it, they are far more likely to do well in the upcoming elections, which would mean a packed Supreme Court, 2 more states, and 4 more Democratic senators, D.C. and Puerto Rico, and 8 more electoral votes. Remember, Republicans, they are going to end the filibuster as soon as they get the chance. We know this because they already tried. And the only 2 people who didn't go along are now out of office. Wow. Did you know about this congressional map? But they have much less chance of winning if we have great policy wins after wins after wins. All we do is win. Get your Trump hands going, man. Get your Trump hands going, man. They have no chance as all we do is win. And I mean, in 6 months, how much has Trump accomplished? So much. Hey, Mr. Boski, I ain't seen you in a minute. The opposition could also use procedural rules to delay the block the nuclear option vote. Oh, look at that. He know his politics. Come on, baby. Where was I at? Great policy we have to win. And the fact they will lose big and for a very long time. Terminate the filibuster now, end the ridiculous shutdown immediately, and then, most importantly, pass every wonderful Republican policy that we have dreamt of for years but never gotten. We will be the party that could not be beaten, the smart party. Shout out to Trump, man. 12:54. My wife is going to come pick me up at 1 o'clock. We had a fire show today, man. It's election day. I want everybody to get out there and vote. 35-day shutdown. No food stamps. Donald Trump says SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions of dollars, many-fold during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office due to the fact they were haphazardly handed out to anyone. Remember $10,000 in food stamps to immigrants? You guys remember that? Doge told you about that, as opposed to just those in need, which is the purpose of SNAP. Will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up the government. Do you guys understand what this message is saying? There will be no Band-Aid to SNAP and EBT. Donald Trump just tweeted out 4 hours ago that the only time that EBT is going back out is when the government is opened back up by the Democrats. A lot of people thought that that judge ruling would get you food stamps this week. I never reported that. I never believed that you were going to get food stamps this week. I never told nobody that they was going to get food stamps this week. All these people heard about these Democratic liberal judges trying to make Donald Trump do something. Donald Trump just said ain't no food stamps going out until the Democrats open up the government. There will be no Band-Aids. There will be no Band-Aids. That you need to call your Democratic representative right now. There will be no Band-Aids. That's Trump right there. All of you wondering if there will be food stamps by Wednesday or Thursday, the answer is no. Trump is not going to allocate that $5 billion because it wouldn't be enough anyway. It would not be enough anyway. You would still have a $4 billion shortfall. So there will be no food stamps this week. There will be no food stamps in November. And this is the thing you need to understand. There will be no food stamps in December because of the length of the shutdown. It doesn't matter if the shutdown goes beyond 35 days. The problem with food stamps and cash aid in December is the length of time it will take to get the government open back up. That is the problem you face now. We are beyond November. I just read to you the food stamps are not coming. I know about the judge. I know about the judgment. I know about the reserve special fund. It's only $5 billion. You need $9 billion every month to pay food stamps. $5 billion won't get you your food stamps. That's number one. $5 billion won't get you your food stamps. It only gets 60% paid. But that is the end of the reserve, and that means nothing for December. So why would Trump pay it out? Trump just said he's not giving out that $5 billion reserve. He's not giving out any food stamps until the Democrats open the government. I think this is the first time you're hearing this. A lot of people, somebody said not true. In New York, our governor said they will not be delays in SNAP. Okay, then show me right now. Show me right now. Because nobody got food stamps on November 1st. I'm gonna ask the AI right now. I'm gonna ask, did New Yorkers get food stamps? And we're beyond food stamps. We passed cash aid. Cash aid is going to be delayed. WIC is being delayed. So, they won't give me the answer I'm looking for. Let's see. Did y'all look it up? Come on, man. I'm asking right now. All right, let's see right now. As of November 4th, now it's 6 weeks. The federal shutdown continues to disrupt the SNAP program, affecting 3 million New Yorkers, about 14% of the population who rely on it for groceries. Benefits are loaded monthly to EBT cards, but federal funding lapsed on November 1st, leading to widespread delays. While partial federal payments were announced yesterday, full restoration remains uncertain, and state emergency aid is filling gaps with food banks. So that means no food stamps in New York, brother. I just looked it up. Key impacts in November: delays. November benefits are delayed or partial due to halted USDA funding. The Trump administration initially refused to tap a $6 billion contingency fund. I just read that. Reserved for disasters like hurricanes, but federal judges ruling October 31st ordered a plan. On November 3rd, they committed to 50% payments using limited contingent funds for short of full amount needed for 42 million nationwide recipients. EBT cards loaded before October 31st may still work. I don't believe those payments have gone out or will go out. Work requirements. A surprise Trump policy from the One Big Beautiful Bill ends New York's waiver for able-bodied adults without dependents to get benefits or work after 3 months of benefits. This could disqualify 300 more New Yorkers starting in November, adding confusion amid shutdown. This is why I said it's so evil and sinister by Chuck Schumer and the Democrats. This was already going to happen legally. Do you understand? They took away the last, oh my God. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats took away your last welfare check. I'm going to read this one more time. Work requirements. A surprise Trump policy from the One Big Beautiful Bill ends New York's waiver for able-bodied adults without dependents to receive benefits after 3 months. This could disqualify 300,000 more New Yorkers starting November. That was going to happen anyway. Chuck Schumer just made you lose your last welfare check. That was going to happen anyway. That's already a law. That's a law in the big, beautiful bill. Ask AI, does America do better under Democrats or Republican? Oh, man, that's a good one. You ask and you tell me. Okay. Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency on October 3rd, unlocking $65 million for food banks, not food stamps, pantries, and distribution. This covers 10% of New York's monthly SNAP needs, but it isn't direct EBT funding. You understand? This isn't EBT funding. New York can't afford a full state coverage. I'm gonna just read it to you. This is the governor. You said New York is gonna get food stamps. New York can't afford a full state coverage. We are post-pandemic. We are post-quarantine. All states were affected by moratoriums on taxes, on traffic. They didn't give out tickets. They didn't collect money for 2 years. We are in a deficit. Most big cities are operating at a deficit post-pandemic, post-quarantine. The recovery on my research, listen to this. In my research, what I found during the last shutdown of 35 days, there were huge delays in getting the government started back up. The thing is, we had money. We weren't post-quarantine where people did not pay into the government for 2 years. Now, what economists are saying, think about this. You have the laws from the big, beautiful bill that will go into effect, regardless if the government is shut down or not. And economists are saying that because of the deficits occurred by cities and municipalities, that it's going to take even longer to get the government back up to full speed and to get you paid out at 100%. Because we're already at did you guys, this is a huge, Chuck Schumer, this will go down in history. Not only because it's the longest shutdown ever, but because Chuck Schumer shut down the government over a clean CR and tried to make changes to an existing law via a clean CR, which is procedural misconduct. This will go down in history as the Democrats in a moment in time that will encapsulate when the Democrats really forsake their party. And this is really a picture of what current Democrat elites look like and what they're willing to do to their constituents to maintain power. Because this was all about Chuck Schumer not getting primaried by AOC from the left. It has nothing to do with the food stamps and the pain you're feeling. I'm just telling you that these Democrat elites don't care about you and what you're going through, and it's sad. It's very sad. It's very sad. These are the truths right now. So I want to know how many states. I said, what states are receiving food stamp? As of November 4th, the federal government shutdown in its 35th day has severely disrupted funding to key nutritional and cash assistance programs. The U.S. Department of Agriculture halted full SNAP payments on November 1st. Nobody got SNAP on November 1st. I don't know if anybody is lying to you, but I'm going to read that again. The USDA halted full SNAP payments on November 1st, providing only partial 50% benefits via contingency funds in some cases after court orders. WIC received a $300 million emergency infusion in October, but is at risk of running out nationwide mid-November. I'm the only one talking about WIC. Remember, I'm the only one telling you about WIC. WIC is broke. WIC is broke. The soldiers got paid, but there is no money to pay the soldiers on November 15th. November 15th is a big day in the shutdown. If we go to November 15th, December is gone. Do you guys understand the shutdown? The government needs to be open by November 15th. If we go to November 15th, December is gone. We're in 2026. You guys know it's only 8 weeks left in 2025. Do you know there's only 8 weeks left in 2025. This is not a lot of time this year. The Democrats are playing with your life. If this shutdown goes several more days, it's already November 4th. So that's just, you can't count the weekends because the Congress don't work on weekends and they're in recess. If the shutdown goes a couple more business days, we are at November 15th. November 15th is like a Hail Mary. You lose everything. You lose food stamps, you lose WIC, you lose Cash A, you lose Section 8, everything. It will be the longest shutdown in American history. And what I want to let you know is it's deeper than that. If we go to November 15th, 2025 is gone. And it will be, you need to understand that when the government opens back up, these new regulations for the big, beautiful bill will be in place. WIC, stringent. Welfare, more stringent. Everything. And it will take longer because of backlog. Right now, we can't do no new Social Security, no new WIC, no new welfare, no new SNAP. So when the government opens back up, they're going to have a huge backlog, but there's a problem. No employees, because you made all the employees go home. So then you have to get the employees to come back to work and then get them to work at full capacity. This takes time. Get everybody to come back in the office. Everybody working full time, getting paid. And then they first have to work through the backlog before they start working on your current payment. And that, listen to this, last time the government was shut down for 35 days, cash aid was delayed 15 days. What do you think is going to happen this time if the government is shut down 41 days? How long will the delays be to get the government back up to speed? Because it's going to take time. It's a big apparatus. It's the federal government. 2 million people have been furloughed. You got people who have been working 30 days, haven't gotten paid. You got to pay those people. You got to pay the soldiers. You got to pay the military wives. It's going to take time to unravel this thing. I read to you, it's cost $10 billion. The shutdown so far has cost $10 billion. What happens if we go to November 15th? Are you prepared? These are realities. These are realities. That's all I have. It's been a great show. That's all I have. I'm going to go to lunch with my wife and enjoy some tacos. That's all I have. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Mark Jag. Shout out to Dante. Shout out to Mr. Boski. Great live. Shout out to Nancy. I'm praying too. God bless everybody watching. God bless America. God bless the chat. God bless the president. Great live. Double tap as you boop, 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 boop. This is what I need everybody to do right now. Everybody watching right now. Boop, 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 boop. I know you're watching, and I know most of you are watching on a cell phone. I know most of you are over a certain age. My analytics skew a little bit older, so I need you to hit the ellipsis in the top right-hand corner. Those are 3 dots. Thank you, Mr. Boski. Or hit the chevron on the bottom left hand. Hit that chevron. You can hit the heart emoji. Double tap the screen. Shout out to John Walker. Double tap the screen. Like, share, and subscribe. It's very important that you do. We need this to be an algorithm. Brad. Shout out to Brad. God bless you, brother. I'm a Democrat. I wish you the best. Man, we got to have 2 parties. You know, Brad, you know I give my speech. My heart is a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to build it up. Why do we call it a house? Brad, why do we call it a house? The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, greatest documents ever created. The framers are the greatest men who ever lived. They were fleeing a theocracy. They were fleeing a monocracy. They created the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the presidency. They created these branches of government. They created the articles of the Constitution. They created checks and balances. Why? Because my heart is a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to build. Why do we call it a house? Why is it a house? See, we were leaving a monarchy. We were leaving a theocracy. right? So I don't hate Democrats. Do you see MAGA hating Democrats? No, MAGA is not burning up Teslas. MAGA is not protesting and burning up Portland. No, MAGA doesn't do that, right? I respect the debate and I understand I don't want to live in a monarchy. In order for me not to live in the monarchy, I have to respect differences of opinion. There cannot be one school of thought. If there's only one school of thought, then we are living in a monarchy. We need Democrat opinion. We need Republican opinion. It's called a house because you're supposed to go to committee just like mom and dad. Mom may have one opinion. Dad may have one opinion. But the goal of, see, it never can be about dad only being right. It never can be about mom only being right. It's about mom and dad coming together for the benefit and what's best for the house. Do you guys understand? It's not about the Democrats being right. This is what's going on. I explained this on my channel. This is what's going on with the budget. It's not about the Democrats being right. It's not about the Republicans being right. It's about the Democrats and the Republicans coming together to create a budget that's best for the house. The house is the American people. You. It's a house. It's a house. The Democrats and the Republicans are supposed to argue. They're supposed to disagree. And the goal is to come up with the best outcome for the House, because Democrats and Republicans both live in the House. Democrats and Republicans both are Americans, and the decisions will affect both of their children. My heart is a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to build it. So I respect you being a Democrat, brother. I respect you being a Democrat, brother. I respect America. I respect the Constitution and the Articles. I wish more people understood the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the Articles, because they would understand whose responsibility it is to create a budget. The House was supposed to create a budget by October 1st. They would understand what a clean CR is. I gotta go. I gotta go to lunch with my wife. I love you guys.